I used to cook a lot for my roommates in college. I started entering some online recipe contests. One of the first ones I did, which was the greatest grilled cheese in America contest, I kind of even forgot that I ended up winning. And it was like a curried mango grilled cheese, which sounds bizarre, but it was the one, I guess. Hi, I'm Ashley Berman from Bernie's Restaurant in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. We're gonna make our Bernie's Vinegar chicken. French-style chicken meets kind of an Italian pork chop and vinegar peppers. A lot of fun to eat. So we're gonna make our brine. So we have 2 gallons of water, 2 cups of brown sugar, and 1.5 cups of kosher salt. We're gonna bring this water up to a simmer. We wanna dissolve the salt in the sugar, and then we're gonna chill the mixture, then it'll be ready to go for the chicken. Chicken takes a bath for 24 hours, just soaks in all that salt and sugar, and that's what's gonna make it stay juicy. Okay, so this chicken's been brining for 24 hours. Gonna lift it out. Okay, so we wanna make sure this gets really dried off because we're gonna brush it with oil, and then we want the rub to stick so the skin can crisp in the oven and it doesn't become pasty. Okay, so now we're gonna make our rub. We're gonna start with a little bit of brown sugar, garlic powder, adobo seasoning, a little bit of onion powder, dry oregano, black pepper, garlic salt, paprika, and mustard powder. Just mix these together. You want to incorporate the brown sugar. We're going to take our chicken, a little olive oil, and we're just going to brush it all over. This is just basically the glue. It's going to make the rub stick. So now I'm just going to evenly distribute this rub. Take the rub from up high, it'll just help evenly distribute it. Make sure you get inside the wings. When I first was teaching one of my cooks how to do this, he actually rubbed it on, and what happens is it just makes it pasty and blotchy. So we're all set with the rub, ready to go into the oven. Depending on the size of your chicken, 45 minutes to an hour should do it, but make sure you insert a thermometer to reach 165, just to be sure. When the chicken's done, when it comes up to temp, I want to let it rest just to reabsorb all the juices and then go for the pan sauce from there. It's an atypical pan sauce, but it starts out like a typical pan sauce. So we're going to go with just a little bit of butter, diced shallots, some chopped garlic. We're going to season that with a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. We're going to let that sweat down till they're just translucent and a little bit golden. So now we're going to flambe some cognac and add some cognac in. There we go. So you want to let the alcohol burn off. And then we're going to add some white wine. So you want to let that white wine reduce, come up to a simmer. So after the wine reduces down, I'm going to add a little chicken stock. Same thing, let that reduce down as well. So now we're going to add cherry vinegar, the most important ingredient in the sauce. Worcestershire. Soy sauce. I like to sneak soy sauce into certain things that you wouldn't even notice. This wouldn't have any kind of Asian flavors at all. You wouldn't even really know it's there. It just adds a little salt, a little depth, and a little umami. And then last we add a little bit of brown sugar just to round it out. So we're gonna let that simmer for about 5 minutes. We're gonna turn off the heat and whisk in some cold butter. I'm also finding cold butter into the sauce just makes it super silky and luxurious, and also kind of tones down the pungency of the other ingredients. That's it. So our chicken's fully rested, so now we're gonna carve it up. I'm gonna take the wings off. I'm gonna cut right through the joint, keep the wing tip on. Then I'm gonna cut through the leg, kind of lift it up. I break it at the joint, then you can kind of see what you're working with. Take the whole leg and thigh off. And then you want to cut right in between the leg and the thigh just to separate those guys. Spin around to the other side. And we take the breast completely off the bone. You just follow it down, go right alongside the cartilage. You can hang around and pick at the rest of this meat and use it for another recipe. So these breasts, I'm going to cut it into 4 pieces. Keep the skin intact as much as you can. Cool, so now we can go over to the salamander and crisp up the skin. You can use a broiler as well. Just keep an eye on it. You don't want to burn the skin. You just want to get a little bit browner, a little bit crispier. Chicken's nice and crispy, skin's nice and crispy. So we're gonna go ahead and plate. So take the thighs. So we're just gonna arrange these pieces around the plate. Chicken's nice and juicy. So you could get a bigger platter and do the whole bird. This is great for 2. So I have roasted shallots here, roasted them at 375 with olive oil, salt, pepper, oregano, thyme. Really nice counterpart to the chicken. We're just gonna arrange those around on the platter. We have pickled cherry peppers. You can buy these, you can make these, so you can arrange these on the plate as well. So we have our sauce, so we're just gonna pour this on. You don't really wanna get it directly on the skin because we took all that time to crisp the skin up. Take parsley, we're using curly parsley over the top, and then a little flake salt. And that's it. This is a vinegar chicken that we serve at Bernie's restaurant in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. Yep. It's really good. You can really taste the brine soaked in vinegar sauce.